RPM Living manages this property as well as others in Memphis. People who live here tell me the problem is when they go to fill out a maintenance request, oftentimes they can't get anyone on the phone. Thanks for staying up with us tonight. I'm Daniel Wilkerson. Arkansas State Police confirming with Fox 13 News they are now investigating the man's death.
I wish I could help him out some kind of way, but there's really nothing I can do. If he goes too far this way, he's going to end up in a ditch.
The property manager inside told me she couldn't help me, but she would get me to another property manager who was not on site. She said she would have her call me. I said, can you give me her number? She gave me a number written down here, but instead of giving me 7 digits, she gave me 6.
It's 2 prayers too many for 1 city council meeting.
I think that's a little bit much.
I'm Daniel Wilkerson. You'll hear from one city councilwoman who says we're sending up too many prayers at these meetings.
I want to look up the management company RPM Living on the Better Business Bureau website. And it says here they have basically a 1-star customer review rating. But I also noticed this. If you look at their Better Business Bureau rating, it's a B+, but it says they have an alert, a pattern of complaints. I bet Daniel Irwin over at the Mid-South Better Business Bureau can tell us what that means.
A lot of former salespeople will tell you the best way to get a good deal on a vehicle is to educate yourself on the car buying process before you go to the dealership. In fact, a lot of those former salespeople now have YouTube channels where they show you how to get the best deals. In fact, here's one. It's Rodney Samuels TV. In one of his videos, he shows you the 4-square technique. That 4 square is on that sheet of paper that the salespeople slide across the table to you.
That 4 square is broken up into 4 sections. Your trade-in, the MSRP or the dealership's asking price, the money you'll put down, and the monthly payment. The salesperson wants you to focus on the last one.
Which one of these numbers right here, this monthly payment, is comfortable for you? Now, this is where we all fall victim, right? And it's our own thinking, it's our own lack of knowledge, I want to say. A lot of us are monthly payment buyers.
But Samuel says you should really focus on the first 2 squares.
The real problem is up here with your trade-in and the MSRP. They want you concentrating on this, because that's where we all train to concentrate on, the monthly payment and money down out of pocket. But up here is where you're getting jerked around.
Samuel says your priority in negotiations should be to get the price you pay for the car as low as possible. And be sure it's the out-the-door price to avoid unnecessary fees. Only after that should you worry about the trade-in. And that's where Daniel Irwin with the Mid-South Better Business Bureau says your homework comes in.
How do you know what the car you're trading in is worth?
Well, there are a lot of good websites out there. One's called Edmunds.com. You can search by license plate or by make and model of the car, and it'll give you an estimated value of what your car's worth, so you can have that when you go into a dealership.
Irwin says to negotiate your best deal, you really need to visit more than one car lot and negotiate your best out-the-door sales price. You can use the offer from one dealership to get an even better deal at another.
Car dealerships often want you to concentrate on the monthly payment.
Yeah, and that's because they make more money the more the interest rate is, but know what it is you're about to pay. There's a great website called nerdwallet.com. It's got an auto loan calculator. I recommend you crunch all the numbers yourself before you go to a dealership.
So here's your homework before you head to any car lot. Compare the price of the car you're interested in against others online. Know your trade-in value. You should also know your current credit score. Also, crunch the numbers on an auto loan calculator so you're not paying extra interest or finance charges. And lastly, get a loan estimate from a bank or credit union. Remember, you are not required to accept the loan from the car dealership. Once you're at the car dealership and you've done your homework, remember to keep your emotions in check. Remember, for that hour that you're at the dealership, you will likely feel the effects of it for the next 5 years or even longer. Also, use your homework to negotiate the best out-the-door price and get the most you can get for your trade-in. We have a full resource guide on our website. Just go to fox13memphis.com. Daniel Wilkerson, Fox 13 News. Number 10 Main Street on South Main. Their website says it's historic downtown Memphis living. But this man who lives here says there's been a chill in the air for about 5 days. What is it like, man, being without heat this long?
It's cold. It's very cold.
Several tenants tell Fox 13 News the building flooded during last week's winter storm. And since then, most of them haven't had heat. Have they given you all a time frame?
They just say the people working though.
The tenants tell us the property is managed by RPM Living out of Texas. On their website, RPM Living says in the Memphis area alone, in addition to number 10 Main Street, they also manage several other properties, including the Washburn and Printers Alley lofts. Tenants tell Fox 13 if you can get RPM Living on the phone, they are slow about making repairs. The property manager inside told me she couldn't help me, but she would get me to another property manager who was not on site. She said she would have her call me. I said, can you give me her number? She gave me a number written down here, but instead of giving me 7 digits, she gave me 6. With a little research, we figured out the 7th digit.
Thanks for calling Manual. This is Christy. How can I help you?
But still, we couldn't get a property manager. I wanted to look up the management company, RPM Living, on the Better Business Bureau website. And it says here they have basically a 1-star customer review rating. But I also noticed this. If you look at their Better Business Bureau rating, it's a B+, but it says they have an alert, a pattern of complaints. I bet Daniel Irwin over at the Mid-South Better Business Bureau can tell us what that means.
And basically, that's the BBB noticed that several consumers in a certain time frame were filing complaints of a similar nature. So in the last 3 years, they've received 554 complaints nationwide, but over the last year, they've only received 220.